Everybody has an EDC that they love and that they're used to. These three are mine. We have the Glock 43X MOS, we have the Canik MC9 Prime, and we have the Shield Plus. Now, all three of these have served me extremely well, but today one of them is getting replaced. I want to be very clear, and the reason I'm replacing these is not because I've had any failures or because something went wrong. They've all been extremely reliable, and that's why they're part of my everyday carry rotation. I've carried all three of these for a long time now, and they've always been carried in a blacksmith tactical holster, which is kind of what you see in the back here. But the reason I'm switching these is because I'm fortunate enough to have plenty of different firearms that I'm shooting nonstop, whether it's on camera or off camera. I'm consistently practicing and just trying to get better with my shooting skills. So I try a lot of different firearms, and I really like to get a good feel and a good experience with everything so that I can give you guys some positive or negative reviews on my experience with the guns that I have on the channel. So the reason I'm switching one of these right now is because I found a gun that I really enjoyed and really got to learn over time. And out of these three, the first gun that I'm going to eliminate for my EDC rotation is my Glock 43X MOS. It pains me to get rid of this thing or to get it out of my rotation because this has been my old faithful friend for the longest time, man. It's been my favorite carry gun. I think out of all the guns that I've carried, this has been the most comfortable. I love how lightweight it is. I love how reliable it is. The grip is just perfect to me. It conceals extremely, extremely well. There are so many endless accessory options. But as you guys can see, I left it pretty bone stock. I did switch out these pins to chrome pins from the factory black ones just because I wanted them to match the PSA 15 round mag that I carried this in. So it gave it a nice little touch. But other than that, I did it at red dot to it and some aftermarket sights to co-witness with that red dot. Now we have the Siley Cat EDG and enclosing emitter red dot. One of my favorites. Guys, check this out. I'll leave a link in the description. But an awesome, awesome little carry gun. And there's a reason why this has been extremely popular. But what I have replaced this with is the Shield X Carry Comp. Now, as you guys can see, this is in a blacksmith tactical flex rig holster with a +1 style. And let's take a look and see what the setup is on this one. So we have a TLR7X sub with an EPS carry MRS green dot, and this thing just looks really, really nice. I like the way that it looks. Now, the reason I chose this to replace the 43X is because, in my personal opinion, this is very similar in terms of size to the 43X. I'll show you guys here, obviously without that comp, but just a tiny bit bigger than that 43X, and it really gives me the same type of feel as a 43X. Now, when I initially purchased this, my initial impressions weren't that great. I'll be honest with you guys. I wasn't completely sold on it, and I didn't get the first one that came out because of that reason, because it didn't look super enticing to me. But then they came out with the carry comp, and I said, you know what? A lot of people like the original Shield X. I'll get it to do reviews on it. I'll get it for the channel. And I got it, and when I shot it, I wasn't that thrilled. The comp for me just it wasn't the best. But you know, what do you expect? It's a micro gun that you carry, and I know usually comps don't really do that much for smaller handguns. But over time, I shot and shot and shot time and time again with this thing, and I started to really enjoy it. It started to grow on me, and what I hated about it at first was how thin this grip is. Not only is it thin here, but just the circumference around the whole grip is extremely thin. I mean, when you grab a hold of it, look how much I could almost release the mag just going through that trigger guard. And it is clear, by the way, we don't have anything in here. We are in a safe work environment. And yeah, so that's kind of just how my first initial impressions on this was. It just wasn't that great. It shot decent, it was very reliable, but like I said, after time I started practicing with it. Follow-up shots were really good, shot placements were really good. We practiced from 7 all the way out to 25 yards, and it's been accurate, it's been reliable, and that's the number one thing you look for in a carry gun. And it's also got a rail. It's got the new RMSC and K series cutout for the optic system. You know, it's got some nice serrations. It's got a good trigger. Everything just seems to be a good upgrade from the very bland 43X MOS, and that's the reason why we switched it out to this. Plus, since I carry the Shield Plus, this Shield X carry comp kind of gives me a different option. So I'm kind of familiar with both of those triggers. So they have similar triggers as you guys can see here, and you have a non-comp version, and then you have a comp version here. So if I wanted to run comp, I could. If I wanted to run non-comp, again, I have a similar option to run with. But overall, I've put probably about 700 rounds through this. 100% reliable. It's fed 115, 147, 124. 124 is my preferred grain, but it's just been awesome. And to carry with this thing has been really comfortable as well. I'm typically not the type to run a light for my EDCs, especially something this small. I believe that a smaller microgun is small for a reason. It should stay that way. But I said, you know what, man, I'm so used to carrying everything, and then I actually started to carry the Echelon 4.0C with that new PLX light, and it wasn't that uncomfortable for being a bigger gun. So I went ahead and got the light for it, and it's been awesome. I will say this though, one thing I noticed was the grip texture on the frame, extremely abrasive, at least in my personal opinion. It really scrapes up my tummy.
That's gay.
And honestly, like it gets uncomfortable, and it is. And that's my only complaint about this gun, is the fact that it is a little uncomfortable to carry, just because when your skin rubs up against this, it just destroys your skin. I mean, I have red belly every time I carry with this, and it's more aggressive than your standard Shield Plus grip. So when people started complaining about that, they removed the grip texture from the middle. Man, I'm glad they did, because that's pretty abrasive stuff right there. So other than that, it's been an awesome gun. I've done a lot of drills with it, and I've been nothing but pleasantly happy with this. So I'm going to continue to carry this. I've been carrying this for a couple weeks now, and it's been awesome. So unfortunately, my 43X MOS has finally been bumped, but I know they're coming out with a Gen 6, and I'm really excited to see what upgrades and what changes they make to the 43X to make it what it should have been years ago. So my current carry rotation consists of the Canik MC9 Prime. You guys know this is probably my favorite gun that has come out. I love Canik, and this has been just a beast. I'm just on point with this 100% of the time. It's just hard to beat me with this Prime. I'm not even gonna lie, man. This thing is just a beast. But anyways, we got the Radiant version coming out, and I'm excited to get my hands on that, to give you guys some good reviews on that. Might be replacing this one if it's good enough, if it's reliable. And I also actually thought about adding the 4.0C, the Echelon, or the CZ P10C ported. So there are some options to get that one replaced. And then for this one right here, the OG Shield Plus, just an awesome, comfortable little lightweight carry gun as well, kind of like the 43X, but it has a better trigger, better capacity, and just overall a really reliable gun. This one right here, I've thought about replacing it with something like an FN Reflex or a HK CC9. I don't know. Options are still open. And obviously, the newest addition, we got the M&P Shield X carry comp. This thing is just growing on me very much so. If you guys have been following my channel for a while, you know that I've never really liked the Shield Plus M&P. I've actually been a huge Smith & Wesson hater, but they're growing on me, man. They're dropping some heat. They're consistently innovating and doing good things. So, I got to give credit where credit is due. So that should wrap it up for this video, you guys. I'll continue to carry this. You guys continue to carry what you carry. Let me know what in the comments what it is. Don't forget to hit that like button, drop that comment, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. But if you already have, I appreciate you guys so much. God bless you, and I'll see you on the next video.